Hello, welcome back. I am Allison. This is my channel, and today I want to talk about all of the things crochet because I am back in it, baby. I am obsessed again. I'm really looking forward to crocheting again, and I just kind of want to get excited for fall. It's still currently August and it's getting cooler outside, and I'm just so excited. And I wanted to share some like clothing, but then also some like decor items that I could crochet. And then if you wanted to crochet, I would share those patterns with you. I'm also casually eating a Klondike bar. Also, I don't know what it is about Klondike bars. Maybe this is just me, but like they are always cold, like they don't melt. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Maybe it's like the fake American stuff that it just never truly melts. So let's talk pumpkins. So I saw this thing for Crochet Pumpkin last year, the year before. It was when we were still in the old house, and basically you just make like a big rectangle, and as you make it wider and wider, and then you just do like a rib like back and forth. And that's kind of how I made this. I didn't really use a pattern, and I also haven't made the stem for it yet because I was planning on making like a stack of these, and then I just stuffed it with polyfill. But I thought this would be super cute. Orange yarn obviously, but you can use whatever you want. I do think that this is such a cute little casual decor item. This one, as you can see, is like head size, but it's probably like as big as my hand, a little bit bigger. But I might make like another one, maybe make it a little bit taller. I don't know. I guess you could like fluff this one up. Oh yeah, this fluffs up really nicely. So, I mean, I guess it's however you want this to work. When I was initially making these last year, I was making them to stack. And obviously I didn't do a good job stuffing it because it's kind of wonky. But I think it's kind of cute, and I also think that if you just do like a little brown, you know, gourd handle, what are they called, stems, I think this would be such a cute little decor item. So my first crochet thing are these. I think this probably took me a couple days to make. I don't remember how I made it, but again, it looks like I just double crocheted and did a double crochet rib sort of stitch and then put it together. So pumpkin. Longtime viewers will know this bag of sunflower granny squares. When I first started crocheting, and this is literally 3 years ago, I started with a project in mind of making a sunflower granny square cardigan. And I have made, I think there are 80 in this bag, in this gallon bag, but they're all different. They all have different like yellows and different centers and stuff like that, but they're all the same size. And I was planning on making a huge cardigan. Well, I'm a big girl, it takes a long time. Granny squares just are very repetitive, and you have to make like a billion of, like literally a billion of them to do anything with. So I stopped. And I still have them, like they're all still here. I could still do something with them, but I don't know if I'm gonna be returning to the granny square cardigan idea because it was just a lot. But these do exist. I do have a large bag of them. And this granny square is actually kind of easy to make. I'll show you a close-up of it, but here's a close-up of the granny square. It's essentially just a magic ring, and then I think it's 8 single crochets, and then you do 16 in the second row, and then you add on your yellow. So I can, I don't know which tutorial, it was a YouTube tutorial, it was a free YouTube tutorial that taught me how to make these. I'll see if I can find it, but I liked this specific one because it made the petals denser, and I liked that. I didn't like seeing all this, like, you see how around it you can see all these little holes of the granny square. I didn't like that. I wanted something a little bit more dense, and this fit the bill. But I'm pretty sure these are just like little mini like puff stitches around it. In fact, I'm 90% sure that there are little puff stitches around it. I haven't made one of these in a couple of years, but I'm looking at it now and it's like all flooding back. So yeah, I have a lot of these. I also think that sunflowers, as well as little pumpkins, are very easy to do decor items with. I made a gazillion little coasters. Pro tip, always make your coasters or anything that's going to be around a hot object, not out of acrylic yarn or any plastic based yarn, because it will melt. Always make your coasters or any sort of thing that's going to be around heat out of a natural fiber like cotton. Every single coaster I make is always out of a cotton yarn, just because it launders better, and also it won't melt. It won't melt under just extreme heat. Now, obviously, flames is a different thing, but like, you shouldn't be bringing your coasters near flames anyways. Like, what are you doing? These are absolutely 100% acrylic because I was going to use these in a, what's it called? Cardigan. That's what I was trying to say. But I do think that like these mixed with a sunflower coaster, and then possibly even making like little, if you could find, well, I'm sure they make, Allison, they definitely make orange cotton yarn. You could find orange cotton yarn and make little orange flat coasters. That would be cute. You could do this with like green around the edge and make it like viney. That would be so cute. You could make like little gourd coasters, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm going absolutely bananas. So in this next clip, there's like little floaties and dust things that are floating in front of the camera. I promise you this house is not possessed, but I think it was just the dust getting kicked up from me flailing around a lot. So I apologize about that. And also here's a cute picture of my dog Barry in the sun today. So the next thing, I had to stop myself because I was just sitting here eating my Klondike bar. Sweaters, cardigans, and the like. So I really need some new cardigans for work. My ones that I've had for years and years, like ones that I bought when I was living in England, like from Primark, they are hitting their end of life right now. The one I usually wear is starting to wear really thin on the elbows and on the wrists, and it's just looking a little tattered. So we're gonna have to retire her. But I really like the hexagonal sort of look that I did with this one. I don't know if I've ever showed this off like formally in a video, but this is probably my favorite ever crochet piece. And I made this last year, and this is the Frida Kahlo jacket. And it has like little 3D pockets. Love, love, love this pattern. I think it would be really cute in like maybe some fall shades rather than rainbow. Don't get me wrong, rainbow is my favorite. This is my favorite piece that I have ever made. Piece of my soul lives on in this thing. But I just need like, I want some, this is very like bright in your face and I love wearing it. But I do need something slightly more toned down that I could wear in the workplace. You know what I mean? Not that I'm not afraid to wear this. Like, I definitely do wear this, but I just need something like a little bit more subtle and a little bit more muted. So maybe this, but instead of rainbow, I don't know, maybe like a muted red palette or like a red and orange palette would be kind of cute. Instead of doing like black, doing like a muted red situation. But yes, this is my Frida Kahlo jacket. I will link it down below. The only thing I did add was I added extra rows to the bottom because it was supposed to be a bomber jacket and I wanted it to be a little bit longer. So it wears a little longer. It wears like an actual cardigan, and the sleeves are longer because it was initially like a cropped all the way around. But I really love this. I highly recommend it. It was, like I said, this is my favorite thing I've ever made. And then like the little 3D pockets, are you kidding me? Like, hello. So anyways, now I feel like I'm gonna wear this for the rest of the video, even though it's really warm in here. I'm actually gonna take it off. So the Frida Kahlo jacket, this is actually, I think this is a free pattern on Paintbox maybe. I'll link it. You can see like the detailing all the way around the bottom, on the sleeves, on the pockets. Gorgina, we love it. I need more cardigans. I'm thinking about making that, but in, like I said, a muted pattern. Now the other thing, sweaters. So I did crochet this sweater. I was hanging them up because it's the middle of August, and it's not middle of August. It's the end of August and it's still very warm outside. But I made this little number, which she has been washed, she has been dried, she has gone through the laundry a couple of times. One of my, like, this is probably my favorite sweater. I've made two sweaters. This one is by far my favorite. It has bell sleeves, which you can't really tell, and it's very warm, so I don't want to put it on right now, but you can tell it's like a balloon sleeve. It's so cute. It's so flattering. I get so many compliments on it every time I wear it, and then people like lose their ever-loving minds when I'm like, yeah, I made that. They're like, you what? I'm like, yeah, it's crochet. So love this. I want to make this, but maybe in this. I have just enough of this to do a full sweater. It is the Lion Brand Pound of Love acrylic yarn, made in Egypt apparently, and it's in like this blush tone. I don't know, I was really into this in the springtime, but now that I'm looking at it, this is more of like a maybe a little like a February sweater. So maybe if I start it now, it'll be ready in February, you know what I mean? But I think initially I bought this to do a waffle stitch, but then I'm nervous to try a waffle stitch. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm not quite there mentally to try a new stitch. I started, for my partner, I'm doing an alpine stitch sweater, and it's coming along really well, but it's not quite there yet. I'm thinking for fall. I've also, on Pinterest, some of the ideas that I've been looking at have been, again, more like neutral tones. I always feel like fall is a neutral tone territory. Definitely more muted, rustic sort of vibe is where I'm going. And on Pinterest, I will post a couple of the pictures that I saw and saved to my crochet board. But I'm really into these textured pieces. So things that are maybe like a regular old crochet all the way across, but then have like little puffs all the way across, or maybe a different variation in the striping, or some sort of design feature that isn't exactly run-of-the-mill or consistent all the way down. I'm looking for something like that. I really think that that could be something nice. And then the other thing that I really want to start working on is other longtime viewers will know that I used to raise alpacas when I was a kid, and I have a ton of alpaca fiber that I can spin into yarn. Now I do have a spinning wheel. I promise you I'm not Rumpelstiltskin. I wish I could spin straw into gold, but I cannot. I can make some pretty half decent yarn, but I've always like just made enough yarn to do what I needed to do with it and then never made extra. So now that I'm in this house and we're going to be here for a very long time, I want to start making yarn for my stash, and I'm going to start doing that with the alpaca yarn that I have and that I've had for literally a decade now. I've had this yarn, or not this yarn, this wool, and then spin that wool into some yarn that I can now crochet with. So I would love to make like a little crocheted, I don't know if I want to go with like a hat or something small out of the alpaca the first time I make something, just because I'm nervous about working with alpaca yarn. I know that it doesn't hold its memory very well. That's why I never really did anything with it. But now that I've been crocheting a while, I know how to crochet. I can do it relatively well. I think I'm ready to venture back into making my own yarn again. Well, I started by making yarn, and I didn't know how to knit. I didn't know how to crochet. I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. And then the pandemic hit, and I was like, I'm gonna force myself to learn how to crochet. And I did. I learned how to crochet, and it's been so much fun. But I did everything in reverse, whereas a lot of people, they know how to knit and crochet and then they make their own yarn. I made my own yarn for years and years and years, sold it, did everything with it, and then only just recently learned how to use it. So I'm working backwards, but I'm really excited to get back into spinning because that's what I am very familiar with. It's what I really love doing. It's what I grew up doing with fiber arts. So I'm really looking forward to that. But let me know, is there something that you're interested in maybe crocheting this fall? Is there something in particular that you're looking forward to? Also, I finished my Summer Vine t-shirt. This is me wearing it out in public the other day, and I got some very interesting burn marks around my neck. So just FYI, this is how it turned out, and I think it turned out really, really well. Also, I know that I've been making a lot of content sort of with sewing and crocheting and making, but let me know if you're interested in what I'm reading, what I'm watching, any sort of that sort of stuff. I do read a lot now, and I'm also really into watching TV while I crochet and things like that. So if you're interested in any of that sort of stuff, or if you're interested in hearing my work playlist or any sort of stuff like that, or what I'm watching, what I'm reading, I'm happy to do like a book review or book time talk or something like that. Actually, I was thinking about doing, because I've been reading a bunch of books lately, and I only have a handful that I've given a 5-star review to, that I was thinking about doing my 5-star reviewed books. Maybe I'll do that as a video, but let me know what you're interested in seeing. I'm always happy to hear feedback, and honestly, I do this because it's fun and it's just a way for me to get myself out there. So let me know what you think, and I'm happy to just roll with it. Also, a huge shout out to my friend Taylor and Nicole. You know who you are. Thank you so much for watching these videos, and thanks so much for inspiring me and keeping me going. Taylor actually just stopped by today and dropped off Red, White, and Royal Blue because I mentioned it the last time we were hanging out, and she brought it over to my house, and I'm really excited to read it. And she also dropped off a DVD of Into the Woods, and I'm really excited to watch that too. So shout out to Taylor. She creates a lot of cool stuff too, and hopefully, you know, she'll be streaming and like doing stuff soon. So once she does that, I will be sure to plug her. But I just want to say thank you so much for being in my life and for just being an amazing person. My next video is probably going to be a little bit longer and be more of a what I've made, or my plus size closet, because I have a lot of pieces that I've shown off in various varieties and things, but I've never done a whole like my me made closet. So maybe I'll show off my me made closet in my next video. It's gonna be a long one because I've made a lot of stuff, and a lot of it I'm proud of, but some of it I'm not proud of, and I think it's just as important to show off the fails as it is the good stuff, because we don't always hit it right on the first try, right? So I hope this video inspires you or kept you company while you were doing something. Let me know. And I just want to say that I have been recording this for, it says like 15 minutes, and my ice cream is still ice cream. This stuff doesn't melt, and I'm telling you right now, it is like 80 degrees in this studio. So I don't know. I don't know what this means, but I'll tell you right now, this stuff does not melt. It's still cold to the touch too. But thank you so much for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day, your night, your morning, whatever, wherever you happen to be. Happy time zone. And yeah, I'll catch you on the flip side. Bye.